What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, it's me again, LaShawn Bridges. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. As each week, I discuss with you guys politics and the uprunning Democratic presidential candidates for year 2020. All right, and shout out to all you Yang Gang fans out there, such as myself. First, before I get into my topic, which is I'm talking about Andrew Yang today. I want to discuss something briefly. Okay, um, I'm new to this politics, and I'm learning a lot. I'm a college student. I'm a college graduate. Matter of fact, I'm a wife and I'm a mother. So I read all comments. Okay, you guys, there's no right or wrong comment. Okay, and we're all in this together. Whether you choose the Democratic side or Republican side or whatever side you choose, whether you're liberal or moderate or whatever, that's on you. Okay, but we're all in this together. So let's keep it very respectful. We all are adults, you know. Um, Hopefully, there's no children watching this, and if there are children watching this, let's keep it respectful. Whoever you are, let's keep it respectful, right? I've had comments that are very disrespectful, saying things like my comments are dumb or what I'm saying is stupid. You guys, if you don't like what I'm saying, then just get off my page. I mean, we should be able to agree to disagree, okay? I may not agree with everything you say, just like you may not agree with what I say. But, you know, we're all adults, so let's act like it, okay? And if you just please keep in mind that I'm doing this to get the word out there to everybody about my presidential candidate of choice, Andrew Yang, and also about all the other candidates. And if you never watched politics or viewed politics, or even if you are familiar with politics and are deep into politics, you can get a little something out of me, okay? As I will get a little something out of you as well. All right, so let's keep in mind to just keep it respectful, okay? Um, in this video, I will be discussing the latest news about Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang's campaign announced a third quarter haul of $10 million. All right, and according to 2020 Daily Trail Markers, they said according to the campaign they usually raise an average of about $30 per person. All right, that's pretty good. 80% of this campaign was from online donors, giving at least $200. So that's pretty good as well. And Andrew Yang still has not beat the other presidential candidates in the fundraisers, such as Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, or even Pete Buttigieg, for example. But he was pretty close in beating Kamala Harris, whose campaign is only 11.6 million in fundraising, and his campaign has already raised $10 million, which is very good, Andrew. His supporters, such as the Yang Gang, are behind him in his campaign every step of the way. And I'm also one of the Yang Gang fans as well. And according to MSNBC, this week, Yang discusses how his universal basic income proposal, also known as the Freedom Dividend, would help with control of gun violence in America. He discusses how we need to tackle every aspect when it comes to gun violence in America. And I'm going to let you listen to a quick video of him actually discussing this, okay? If I can get it up.
Centerpiece of your campaign as I'm sure one of us knows, is economic insecurity. One of the things you've talked about is providing every family in this country with $1,000 every month to help close the gap, if you will, to a certain extent. Talk to me a little bit about the correlation between economic insecurity and gun violence as we see it.
Thank you for that. And as candidate number 9, I do want to
talk
about 8. Sorry about that. 8 of 9, probably. Is there someone after me?
Yeah, 9.
Most of the candidates that have been sitting in this seat right here, and I agree on most of the relevant common sense gun safety laws that we should implement. I think most Democrats agree that we need to do much more in that direction. But to Craig's question, I think that there's this whole series of events that leads to gun violence, and we need to attack every link in the chain. And my flagship proposal that if you've heard anything about me, you know I want to give every American $1,000 a month. And there are many reasons why I'm certain we should do this, but it even impacts the underlying root causes of gun violence. Because if you look at the series of events that lead to gun violence, what are we talking about? We're talking about the composition and stress levels in homes, in the family. You're talking about what's happening in our school systems. Whether when people show up to schools, one of my boys is on the autism spectrum, so he's neurologically atypical, and we have many kids who are showing up to schools that are not actually made to accommodate them, or people of different neurological profiles. You have one teacher for 25 or 30 kids, and we know that more than 96% of the eventual shooters are boys. So we have boys who are neurologically atypical or have ADHD showing up to school systems that are not designed to accommodate them, and they become marginalized. They sometimes see themselves as deeply alienated, and in most all those cases, obviously not going to become a shooter. But in a rare tragic case, they do become a shooter. So if you have $1,000 a month in the hands of every adult and every family, that actually amplifies the level of resources that are available to make that child stronger, both in the home and when they get to school. It amplifies the level of resources available in the school system to be able to accommodate kids of different learning profiles. The end of this chain, obviously the ones we need to focus on because they're the most direct, which is access to the firearm and then the decision to use the firearm. And those are things we need to attack, but I believe we need to try and attack the root causes of this as well. Because the fact is, even if we get common sense gun laws across the finish line, which after we break the stranglehold of the NRA and our legislature, I believe we can do. But then we're going to wake up the next morning and we know there's still going to be gun violence in our communities. We're going to be struggling with this for generations.
Okay, I was trying to stop that before it just keeps going on and on. Because I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard that on MSNBC. That's what aired about Andrew Yang. Sorry. So, as you hear, he was just discussing about, Andrew Yang was talking about the gun control and gun violence, and how to get that, under control in America. In an interview with Craig Melvin, he discussed the correlation between economic insecurity, as Andrew Yang stated just a minute ago, and gun violence. And Andrew Yang discusses the main issue of gun violence today is because of the many incidents that cause high stress levels, such as stress within our homes and not stress within our schools, like he just said in the video. He also discusses how many children are in schools and don't have, teachers to accommodate them, such as the boys with the ADHD, like he just said. And I like the fact that he, used the word amplify when he was talking about the $1,000 freedom dividend and how it amplifies the resources to help these types of children. I agree. He also discusses how we need to try to break the chain of NRA legislature, which could be a very conflicting type subject to some, but I agree with that as well. I agree with everything that Andrew Yang is stating. I once taught in the school system of Georgia before my illness that I'm going through. And I can really relate to what he's saying. In all my years of teaching the many different behaviors in children, a few years ago, I worked as a paraprofessional, but I floated around to general education classrooms and special education classrooms in which I was used as a floating substitute teacher, which I taught in the classroom by myself. And I got more experience in teaching in the classroom by myself versus when I was a parapro. And working as a teacher myself with pre-K ages all the way up through kindergarten and through the 5th graders. In the school system, when I work with special needs, sometimes you may get a child within the classroom, that has some behavior problems, okay? And we have behavior specialists in place within our schools who work with these types of children, but in my opinion, we need more. Many parents may not have the finances to get the support for their child who is being labeled ADHD, as Andrew Yang stated. And I feel that Andrew Yang states that this is where the universal basic income plan, which he proposes, can come in to help with these types of parents and children. When working with special needs children, whether they're special needs from disability learning or behavior learning, many teachers within the school system stated that I should become a special needs teacher permanently. Why do you think that? Well, because I have passion, which is what Andrew Yang has. You have to enjoy what you do, you guys. And I enjoyed working with children when I did. I have a passion for children. I always have been. I love how presidential candidate Andrew Yang has passion, not just for adults, but for children, for everybody. He can relate because of, having his own autistic child, which he clearly states in a lot of his town hall meetings and all on the internet and all on TV as well. And he's not ashamed of that. And that's very commendable, that he, addresses that and tells everyone that, hey, I have an autistic child myself, is what he says. He understands that it's going to take a lot to keep our children safe in the schools. That I agree. From generation to generation, it's going to take. Andrew Yang knows that this kind of issue is not going to be an overnight issue where we look around and all our problems are solved and everybody lived happily ever after. He knows that it's going to take a lot of work to try to get sensible gun laws, accomplished in America. I feel that President Andrew Yang is an example of someone who truly cares about the families in America. His Freedom Dividend Plan of $1,000 a month will be offered to stay-at-home moms, college students, the unemployed, even billionaires, And I know some of you are thinking, what would a billionaire do with $1,000 a month? Hey, someone asked that on The View, and guess what? Whoopi Goldberg said, give it to someone who needs it. Don't be selfish and say, I got this $1,000 a month. I'm a billionaire. I don't need it. So, what I'm going to do? Just throw it in the trash can? I don't need it. Okay, give it to someone who you think may need it. There may be a single mother that's got 5 kids that are struggling by herself that can use that extra $1,000. So, hey, if you don't need the $1,000 a month freedom dividend plan that Andrew Yang proposes if he becomes president, give it to somebody who will need it, okay? Because we all are here in America to help each other, all right? Which is what we don't do. A lot of us don't do, but we need to start doing it, okay? Anyone who is 18 years of age or older for the rest of their life can enjoy this freedom dividend plan, right? And according to CNN, conservatives think of the UBI plan as a way to replace existing benefits, while liberals see it as a way to improve them. Now, Yang's plan is to compromise between the two, okay? He's even demonstrated the UBI plan by picking some families. I loved when he did that, okay? I'm sure all of you have saw his proposal of giving, several families, I think it was 10 of them, $1,000 a month, okay, out of his own pocket, you guys. You can't get a presidential candidate better than this, all right? Who do you know is actually willing to give? I mean, think about it, guys. What presidential candidate in all the years of, watching, for those of you who are really deep in politics, what presidential candidate have you seen run for president and willing to give someone, a family, $1,000 a month out of his very own pocket? I haven't never seen that. I mean, if you've seen that before, let me know, because I haven't, right? But that's what Andrew Yang is willing to do, which is awesome, all right? This is just really incredible to me. Nobody's doing this, okay? Many people stress about the cost of Yang's UBI plan, and he consistently tells them that if you have a value-added tax onto the companies such as Amazon, Netflix, and Facebook, this money will be distributed to the citizens of America in the form of the universal basic income. Andrew Yang has been seen all over the internet, you guys, and has made his name very popular. He's had followers such as Yang Gang support him. He's also made the name on TV and has been seen twice on one of my favorite shows, which is The View. I watch The View all the time, and I watch The Real. Those two are one of my favorite shows, all right? And on The View's episode that was aired on September 26th, I know some of you probably seen that, if not many of you seen that. He even had Yang Gang family fan members in the audience. I don't know if you've seen that part where they was cheering him on. They were so excited to hear him and discuss his plans for America. And they discussed how he's polling at 8% right now, which is incredible. I mean, here's a guy that come in here. He was polling really low, and now he's, stepping up there. One poll at a time. He's climbing up the ladder, okay, which is commendable. And how Washington Post made a book about him calling it, okay, this is what Andrew Yang stated on The View. It was so funny. Washington Post, they were teasing him and they were saying how they called him the random man who run for president. And they asked Andrew Yang what he think about this random man, okay, that they say. Well, I liked how they said that, that no way a random man could run for president because the average American is living from paycheck to paycheck. So it's not like they could go out and quit their job and decide to run for office. And I like how right after he said, on the Whoopi Goldberg show, he said on The View, Whoopi Goldberg said, now, take that. That's what she said. Now, take that. Basically saying, okay, here's your random man that you guys don't know about, but hey, he's here and he's here to give, people $1,000 a month, so take that. I liked how, she was saying that, because she was addressing when Andrew Yang was first stating that, hey, I'm here. I'm running for president and I don't see anybody else is doing it, that's, offering $1,000 a month, And so, I liked how they discussed him crowd surfing as well. I love that video. I know you guys saw that video of Andrew Yang jumping into the crowd. Like I said in the last video, they was holding him up in the crowd, saying, Andrew Yang, Andrew Yang. So I really like that, and I enjoyed that because it just showed that he's down to earth, that he loves to have fun. He knows there's serious matters in the world. I mean, he knows that there's a lot of things, in the world that he has to address more than just money. But most of the things that in this world is addressed by money because everything in this world is run by money. If you really want to look at it, that's really what it is. But he has over 150 policies that he's addressing other issues as well, such as healthcare, education, and more. But Yang discusses that the getting it was an issue about a woman, okay. And I was reading this, and it was talking about how she was let go on her job, and he addresses this. And he says that, hey, I did not let her go on her job, just be letting her go. It was not about her marital status because this particular woman, okay, I'm going to break it down. She was, making accusations stating that he let her go on a job and it was all about money and things like that. And, not money, about her marital status, so she thought. And he discussed it, and he wasn't afraid to, discuss that on The View. He wasn't concerned also about her issue because he was saying that, he let her go for other reasons, So he did address that, and I did like that. He didn't hide anything. He also was concerned about another issue about a comedian. This comedian made racial comments toward him, and they asked Andrew Yang what does he think about this comedian, specifically attacking Yang, and it's almost like he was trying to say something about all Asians, But to me, Yang, he proved that, he's strong enough to handle any adversity that comes his way. Because once again, he just sort of was saying, hey, I know this guy was making jokes, whatever, but he didn't really let it bother him. He knows that comedians do things like that, but he didn't. It bothered him a little bit, but I don't think it really bothered him much. He has a very strong mind to be able to take whatever comes across. And that's a good thing. But not just any guy, presidential candidate that is here to try to make our economy further better. And Andrew Yang says, that he knows that he's an Asian guy, but he definitely knows that he's there to help our economy. So, that's a good thing. Well, what do you think about Andrew Yang, and what do you think about his comments on The View? Give me your opinions, and thank you for watching this video. I will make my next video a little bit, about, I'm not sure yet. I will let you guys know what my next video will be about. Maybe about Trump, maybe about Yang, maybe about one of the other presidential candidates of choice. I'm not sure just yet. But please continue to watch me and follow me on YouTube as I address politics every week. Click like if you like this video. Click the bell for further notifications. And see you next time. Deuces.